Hey guys, first I want to start off by saying I'm so sorry I've been so inactive on this YouTube channel as well as our Instagram. I've just lacked so much motivation lately, and I stopped doing drama for a while because it was kind of like draining me. I was like, I'm done with this stuff. And I like posted memes and stuff, but now I kind of want to get back into it. Like, I have this sudden urge of motivation to do it, so we're gonna do it. So many of you have probably heard something about the whole Vlog Squad situation, David Dobrik, Seth. It's a whole thing, and it was a lot to catch up on. You'd have to be there from the very beginning to understand everything that's going on. So for some of you guys who are confused on the situation, I'm going to basically sum up the whole thing for you guys. This situation was brought to light by YouTuber Trisha Paytas and H3H3 on their podcast Frenemies. Trisha and Ethan first began talking about two of David's very disturbing pranks in the past, which involved one of David's former friends, Seth. And the first prank was shot in around 2017. David decided to tell Seth that he was going to have him make out with another girl in the group named Corinna just for a bit. So while she was wearing an old man mask, what Seth didn't know was that Corinna was going to leave the room, and Jason, who was an older member of the Vlog Squad, would put the mask on as if he was Corinna. So in Seth's mind, he's making out with who he initially thought was the girl, but it's actually Jason, and at the end they reveal it's Jason, and he's not happy about that. So this same prank happened 2 times. Years later, Seth speaks out and reveals that he did not give consent to these bits. He revealed in the H3H3 podcast that he was living in LA at the time, and he could not handle the trauma to the point where he moved several states away and is now undergoing therapy. Seth decided to have a conversation with David, and it was not going anywhere. David showed absolutely no remorse in the situation, and after Seth asked him to delete the video, David just offered a sum of money instead. And Seth stated that this is how he knew that he was not a real friend. So this whole situation sparked several more people to come out with their experiences about David Dobrik and the rest of the Vlog Squad. Big Nick, who was also a big part of David's vlogs in the past, had joined in and claimed that the ableist comments that David continually made toward Nick caused a lot of harm to his mental health. He mentioned that when Nick would go out in public and fans would see him, they would just make jokes about his height, about his disability, just because David did it in the vlogs. So it just made him realize this isn't okay. Just because this happens in a video doesn't mean people can come up to me in real life and bully me. For days, David and his friends stayed completely silent on this whole situation until one of the Vlog Squad members, Scotty Sire, posted a video that basically it's just a DIY video on how to victim shame in under 8 minutes. Scotty goes on a whole rant on how David is a perfect person, he would never do this stuff, and basically just saying F you to all the victims. Of course, Scotty received a ton of backlash for this, so he decided to delete the video and post an apology on Twitter. A few days later, an insider article was published where 3 underage girls had accused Durte Dom, a member of the Vlog Squad, of SA. I'm just going to say SA because I can't say the full word or I'll get demonetized, but you guys know what I mean. So Durte Dom posted on his Instagram story who would like to have a foursome with him. And David thought, oh, this would be a cool bit for the vlog. So David came to the apartment and films the other girls coming to the apartment. And basically the girls changed their mind. They're like, we don't really want to do this. So they said yes at first, and then they changed their mind, which is not consent. But in the vlog, David said after a lot of coercing and alcohol, the girls decided to give in, which...
After a couple minutes of talking, it was clear there was no fivesome happening tonight.
You called it. Yeah. Oh, well. You guys want to watch me and Trisha have sex?
about. But by some stroke of luck and master negotiating, Dom made progress.
So one of the victims has actually sent a text message, and they included it in the article, to Dom around the time that this happened. And I have a clip from H3's podcast of him reading the whole message. This will probably give you guys a better understanding of what happened that night with the victims. If you have half a brain, you could probably see the problem here. The girls said no, but the men took advantage of them by giving them alcohol and loosening them up, which is a common SA tactic that is very, very fucked up. So Jeff posted on his channel a 26-minute video claiming that he was quote-unquote 100% innocent in this situation, and that he claimed that he left 15 minutes after arriving to the apartment, so there's no way that he solicited alcohol to the minors or was aware that the victims were being essayed in the other room. Ethan and Trisha came in with the receipts and showed a picture that was sent in by one of the victims while on a video call with him, and it was a photo of them all in a parking garage in the apartment complex where this essay took place. In the picture, you can see Jeff, Todd, and the other Vlog Squad members in the photo. The timestamp of when this photo was taken was 1 a.m., proving that Jeff was in fact there the entire time So basically, Jeff lied about not being there during this event because obviously he was. And could have possibly bought drinks or is covering for his friend Todd. He kind of changed his story a little bit and he's like, okay, maybe I went back later that night. I live right across from his apartment complex, so maybe I came later that night. I don't know. I don't remember. Todd has not yet spoken out about the situation. Also in the video, Jeff basically shits on the reporter and says that she should be fired, and he gave out her Twitter just so all his fans could go hate on her, even though she was basically just doing her job. He was mad because the reporter put his name in the article because it sounded like he was throwing his friend under the bus, saying that he could have bought the alcohol, which was Todd. But the way Jeff worded it, anyone can think, okay, he's saying that Todd probably bought the alcohol. But apparently, Jeff claims he did not, and Todd did not. And he also keeps saying, I can't speak for anyone else. So after Trisha and Ethan showed him all this evidence, basically saying that he lied most of the video about it, Trisha and Ethan also expressed that they felt that the way he handled the situation with the reporter was very inappropriate and he should not have put the author's Twitter on blast so people can go hate on her and saying that she should get fired. He apologized. He said he should not have put the reporter in that situation. He shouldn't have done all that stuff. It was out of impulse. After Ethan and Trisha's interview with Jeff, Ethan expressed that he did feel bad for Jeff because he understands the situation that he's in. He feels like he didn't really buy the alcohol, but the way he put everything together wasn't the best. People still feel like Jeff knows something and that either Todd is having him cover for him or somebody else bought alcohol because somebody had to have bought the alcohol for the underage girls. But he's still defending himself, saying that he nor Todd bought the alcohol for the minors. Maybe he does know who bought the alcohol for the minors, but he's not going to speak for them. He mentions that he did not condone any of the actions that Dom did, and he was not aware of the essay that was happening in that same house that night. So I've been working on this video for 2 days now, and while I'm making it, David just posted an apology video. So I'm going to add that video to the end of this video. And that's about all we know now. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Keep in mind this video I'm going to show you is actually his second apology. He posted an apology at first, but it wasn't even an apology. It was just him defending himself. This is after he lost a lot of sponsors. SeatGeek stopped working with him. Many other brands dropped their deals with him. And then he went on to post this video a few days later.
Hi guys, it's 1:45 in the morning and I'm finally by myself, which I know doesn't sound that crazy to be by yourself at 1:45 in the morning, but this week's been pretty hectic and there have been a lot of people around telling me what to do, giving me advice, trying to help me, most importantly, and that was a lot, and now I just wanna be able to do this and just shoot straight into the camera and just talk to you guys. I've put myself in a lot of situations where I've needed to apologize for my past actions, and I've never done this correctly, and I've never done this respectfully, and my last video is a testament to that. I don't want to defend that video. I don't want to delete that video. I just want to be clear. What this video isn't going to be is it's not going to be me discrediting Trisha, Kat, or any other woman involved. I'm going to be using words that may trigger some survivors, and that's just so I don't explain anything vaguely and I can explain every situation appropriately. I want to start this video off by saying I fully believe the woman who came out against Dom and said she was assaulted by him. As it was reported, the next day I got consent to post the video. Even though I got the consent to post that video, I should have never posted it. And what I understand now, and I didn't understand before, is that she sent that text because she felt like she had to, not because she wanted to. And that's fucked up. And I'm sorry. When she later reached out a couple months later to take the video down, I immediately took it down. And I want to apologize to her and her friends for ever putting them in an environment that I enabled that made them feel like their safety and values were compromised. I'm so sorry. I was completely disconnected from the fact that when people were invited to film videos with us, especially videos that relied on shock for views or whatever it was, that I was creating an unfair power dynamic. I did not know this before. It was completely wrong, and I wish I was more responsible, and I wish I was more aware at the time, and I'm so sorry I missed that. I didn't know what was going on in that room, and I should have been. I should have been there, and I should have been making sure that everybody involved was taken care of and wasn't uncomfortable. I don't want to use buzzwords to try to justify this or explain this, but all I can say is people felt like they had to be silent for the sake of my video, and that's not right, and it's fucked up, and I'm sorry. I also want to acknowledge the women that spoke out against Dom in 2018. I'm talking about Allie, and then I'm talking about other girls that addressed their problems privately or publicly. I'm sorry I didn't listen to you guys. I am sorry that I took Dom's word for what happened in those certain situations, and I didn't believe you. And not only did I not believe you, but I made a joke of what kind of a person Dom was, because I couldn't wrap my head around a childhood friend of mine doing this to people and actually hurting people, and I'm sorry for that. Not only did I discredit you, Allie, but I platformed Dom. And not only did I platform Dom, but I platformed the subject of sex in a negative way where I made jokes about it, and I reinforced that kind of behavior. And I'm so sorry, and I really let not only you down, but a lot of people down, a lot of people that watch me and my friends and family for that. I made the decision to no longer film with Dom in 2019, and I'm not saying my content has been brilliant since then, but that's when I first started taking into account the power dynamic and what influence I had on people that I was filming with. But what I didn't do is I didn't go back to any of these women and apologize. I kind of moved on, and I learned from it, and I grew from it, but I didn't address the situation with these women. I'm not talking publicly, I'm saying even privately. I didn't reach out to any of these people, and that breaks my heart knowing that I was doing all this stuff and I was making all this content while there was people that were still really hurt by what I made. Before my content shifted to be more responsible and positive, I said and did things that were really offensive, and I called them bad jokes, and I can't even call them bad jokes, and it was cowardly of me to say in my last apology that I missed the mark, because it's fucking gross, and I'm sorry. A lot of people reached out to me saying cancel culture is bullshit and you need to fight back and you need to call people out, and I don't agree with how this should be taken at all. And I think when there is a crisis, there's a serious opportunity to correct yourself, to learn and improve, and to make sure those mistakes don't happen again. And that's why it is so important to hold yourself accountable. And I think with this situation, there's a lot I can look at and there's a lot I can learn from, but there's a lot of mistakes that I made, and I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for everybody I've let down. I'm sorry to my family, and I'm sorry to my friends that I've embarrassed, and that this won't happen again. I'm gonna take a short break from all the social media stuff because I realize there's a serious lack of infrastructure when I make any kind of content. And I wanna be able to have a place of checks and balances. I wanna have HR, and I wanna be able to have people communicate discomfort in a way that's comfortable to them, and where they don't feel like their emotions or what they're doing or how they're acting is compromised. It doesn't feel right to go back to posting like I have been, and it also doesn't feel right to go dark because I love what I do. But I think it is important to show that change is possible and that I'm learning, and maybe even forgiveness is possible. I want to use this opportunity to step up and own my mistakes, and like I said before, I've never done apology the right way. And I'm sure I'm going to look back at this and I'm going to be pissed at some things that I didn't say or I wish I could have added more. But this is this is my beginning to that, and I'm sorry for everybody that I hurt. I also want to add that I'm making myself available to anyone that wants to reach out that I've hurt in the past. I want to be able to hear and understand from yourselves, and I'll be reaching out on my own to some people because I still have a lot of learning to do. And I think when you talk to other people, especially about experiences like this, it really helps you see things in a different way. But yeah, I'm sorry if this video was all over the place. I just wanted to sit and talk and ramble, and I really truly hope that someone can take something away from this experience, that another creator can take away from this. And I know it feels, because I know how crazy it felt to me, that there was some sort of toxicity or some sort of power dynamic in my friend group. But really just take the moment, especially when creating content that you're trying to get viewership out of, or you're trying to get laughs out of, like really take a moment and look at where the jokes end and where the feelings begin, because I think that's so incredibly important. Okay, I'll see you guys. Bye.